Hey y'all, welcome back to the homestead. Today I'm going to be showing you a few highlights from this last week. We were moving cows, worked them a little bit, and then introduced our young dairy girls to the herd. And at the end, I have a surprise. One of our cows had a calf. Sometime in the morning on one of the days this week, we moved the young dairy calves and we gave them a quick health check, and they're actually surprisingly cooperative. Come on, Bessie! Well, they're cooperative most of the time. This is Bessie trying to display her dominance. Our four boys usually like to tag along and pretend to help, mostly just to watch the commotion. Once we got the new dairy heifers into the pen with the other cows that are dried up for the season, it was time to introduce them to Mr. Bull. Mr. Bull is a 6-year-old Black Angus, and he really likes doing his job. On our homestead here, we don't just raise animals, we steward them. Working them in the pen lets us check for injuries, treat anything early if we feel like it needs to be, and make sure that they're thriving. Because we have to lease a lot of the acreage that our meat cows are on, we usually have to set up our own pen in the field, which takes a lot of time. Every 36 hours, I'll have to empty the milk vat. The milk vat is just that big cylindrical silver thing you see behind me. It's basically a giant refrigerator with a churn on the inside, and it helps us get our milk down to 32-ish degrees within about 30 minutes of us pouring the milk in. It's important because we sell raw milk to get the milk as cold as quickly as possible because it helps with the longevity of the milk's shelf life. And yes, cleaning is a huge part of the milking process. We spend as much time sanitizing the equipment as we do actually milking, but it's worth it because it helps keep our milk fresh and clean and safe. So next up on one of my daily tasks is the chickens. We rotate them often to keep the pasture healthy and to give the chickens access to the best bugs and grass. These chickens that you see here are called Cornish cross, and they are pretty close to the end of their life cycle. They probably have a couple more weeks to go. But we actually have created these chicken tractors that we like to move in our pasture that we have recycled from trampolines, which we like to call Alabama's state bird. When we made them, we wanted to make sure that they were going to be easy to move, so we added these boat jacks or hoists to the front of the chicken tractors, so then I can just pull them with a rope and see into the chicken tractor to make sure all the chickens are moving, and it moves pretty easily. I purposefully move a little bit slower with moving this chicken tractor because it has smaller chickens in it, and they tend to not really grasp the concept of moving with the chicken tractor. and sometimes they can get run over, so we learned our lesson. And while we were busy doing all of our farm things, Miss Olive here had her baby. It's a little bull, and we decided to name him Feta. We ended up giving Olive a good 12 hours with her calf Feta before we ended up needing to bring her in to get her milked out because she produced so much. And clumsy little Feta followed us right in. I got Olive hooked up to the milking machine, and it was like she never skipped a beat from when we had milked her previously. And boy, did she need some assistance. She ended up being able to give up 4 gallons of milk even after the baby nursed. And I had recently talked about this on my Instagram, but cows have this really amazing instinct that they can know when their baby is not nursing and they're being milked. So they will actually intentionally hold back their milk in order to make sure that they're going to feed their baby. But because Olive was so full, I tried to encourage Feta to nurse on her so that I could milk her completely out, but he was not interested because he was already full. He had a full big old belly, and Mama is like so confused. She had no idea what I was doing, and I kind of gave up. I was going to see if he was going to be able to do it on his own, but he, like I said, he was not interested, and so I just let them go back out in the field and do their own thing and introduce them to the herd. And before we could introduce Feta to the rest of the herd, I quickly called the bigs out, the 2 older boys, to come out and meet Feta, and they were super excited. We always love a new calf on the farm. Days like this remind me why we do what we do. It's not always easy, but it is extremely rewarding. But thanks for tagging along with us today. Be sure to subscribe, share, or just leave a comment to say hello. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks for watching. Until next time.